No, it's more.
Catch me if you can. Catch me if you can. Catch me if you can.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Mark Yoon, and today I'm bringing you another exciting video. So, there's a couple things I wanted to talk about today. One of the things would be surrounding Xenoverse 3 and its release, so we will talk about that, as there is just a little bit of information about that, so we'll get that out of the way first. As with a lot of leaks, there's been some Reddit leaks for Xenoverse 3, and they said it's actually, the producer said that there would definitely be a Xenoverse 3. It said they will be reassured because other Xenoverses will be developed in the future. So there's definitely going to be a Xenoverse 3. I'm sure a lot of you guys have already known that information, but I just wanted to go over that and reiterate that. But they said that the Redditor, I think it's Dotsbergen, the same guy who we've been getting our Soul Calibur information from, the one that guessed that the Turtles were going to be in Injustice 2 and all that. He said that the next release is going to not be Tenkaichi 3, but is going to be a Dragon Ball oriented game as opposed to Dragon Ball Z that's surrounded by role-playing mechanic. They say that Xenoverse 3 is not being worked on at this time, but obviously if it's going to be for the same console generation that it is now, there's no more ground-up work that needs to be done as opposed to new characters and story mode and stuff like that. So they pretty much already have the groundwork laid out for them. So they can easily get to that whenever they want to, but I would guess that would be 2020 anyway, that Xenoverse 3 is going to be out. I might even go as far as to say 2019, to be honest. But, so they've been saying that the sequel's been, like, hinted at a lot. But here's the one thing I wanted to focus on. The Redditor said that we'll focus on Dragon Ball as opposed to Dragon Ball Z. Now that brings up a lot of problems because just the title of Dragon Ball alone doesn't matter if it's Z or not. See, first thing is that like anybody that knows the manga is actually referred to as just Dragon Ball. There is no Z in the manga. That was like made from Toei for the animation, and that's just how it was presented to the rest of the world, broken up into sections, but it's just Dragon Ball period, so it wouldn't even need to have a Dragon Ball Z because it was from a developer that knows about the limitations behind that language. Then any game would just be Dragon Ball. It doesn't necessarily have to mean like, Kid Goku fighting the Red Ribbon Army and stuff like that. So we'll see, only time will tell. A lot of the RPGs that do come out tend to be Dragon Ball related, so anyway, we'll see that when it comes, but I mean, there's some examples I can give. Dragon Ball FighterZ, the most recent one, it's got Z in the title, but we have Goku Black and we have Hit in the roster, and they're from Dragon Ball Super, not from Dragon Ball Z. You can take Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi, Tenkaichi 2, or Tenkaichi 3. All of those contain Dragon Ball GT villains and heroes, as well as Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. So just having that in the title, you can even go as far back as the Dragon Ball GT Final Bout. That game's like not all GT. There's a lot of Dragon Ball Z characters in that game as well. So, like there's no GT Vegeta. There's like Super Saiyan 2 or Super Saiyan Vegeta with a Majin Buu clothes. There's like Goku in his regular gi, as well as Kid Goku. So it's not, you know what I mean? The actual suffix of the actual title, whether it be just plain Ball, Z, GT, or Super, doesn't necessarily have an effect on what the contents of the games are actually going to be. That's up to the developer, and Dragon Ball encompasses all of them. So, with that being said, I want to move on to my next news. So it was just announced that there's going to be a new mobile game that looks pretty awesome. It's a Dragon Ball PvP game called Dragon Ball Legends, not to be confused with the PlayStation 1 title Dragon Ball Z Legends. It looks like from what little gameplay we've seen so far, it's a player versus player mainly set up kind of fighting thing with kind of an RPG system where like there's cards at the bottom that if you touch like an attack card more than once, you can string them together to make combos kind of similar to Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories on the 3DS. There's also like, you know, super attacks and whatnot, so it's based on like touching cards, so they made it easy enough to where you're not actually like using full controls and like having a head-on battle. I don't know what kind of story mode is going to be in that, because we've only got the limited gameplay from the announcement thus far. It looks pretty exciting. I like the 3D graphics. I want to know how we're going to get characters. Do we get characters off the bat, or unlock them in-game like you do in Final Fantasy, the new Final Fantasy game, Dissidia? Or is it going to be a gacha system where they have, you know, different events where you can summon for newer characters and stuff like that? Or is it going to be like the Chinese Dragon Ball game where you get the characters automatically but you have to summon for their moves? That could be a very real distinct possibility as well, because a lot of gacha games are going in that direction as well. But as with anything, we can only go with speculation based on what we've seen. I mean, I don't work for Toei, I don't work for Bandai Namco, so it's not like I have any real insight as to what you guys see. I just try to get the information out there as fast as I can so that everyone else can make their own decision based on it. Am I going to play Dragon Ball Legends? I'm going to give it a shot. I put down Dokkan Battle probably last year. I just got tired of it. So I was free to play anyway. I didn't spend any money, but I sold my account. That was probably my third account that I have played as well, but I'm kind of done with Dokkan. Like, the last time I really got back into it was when the Super Saiyan 4s were released, and then I got them, awakened them, and then the only other character I saw that came out that kind of intrigued me was the Ultra Instinct Goku, and at the time he didn't even have like a Dokkan. I know now they announced his Ultra Mastered Ultra Instinct, but I just don't have any real desire to play that game anymore, so I'm probably never going to pick that up again. But Dragon Ball Legends, if it's fun, I'll play it. If it's good, I'll play it. Depending on the gameplay, depending on how the game works, whether I'll stick with it or not, that's yet to be seen. I mean, I have the PlayStation consoles 1 through 4, so majority of the Dragon Ball games that I want to play are on those systems anyway that I already have, so I still go back and I play a lot of my old stuff, so it's not really a major inconvenience to me. I don't need to have another mobile game to play, because I already have my hands full with One Piece Treasure Cruise, Naruto Ninja Blazing, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, and Final Fantasy Dissidia, the opera one, Omnia Opera, whatever it's called. So, with that being said, it is a lot of Dragon Ball news that we are looking forward to. Of course, we got the movie coming up. That's exciting to hear from. Now, what do I want to see? Let's go back to Xenoverse 3 for a second, just to round out this video. So, for Xenoverse 3, there's a couple things that I want to see. I want to see more expanded areas in the hub world. And a big thing for me is I want to see more interaction within the hub world. Like, you know how when you play the story, you pretty much have to, like, just go to that certain area, the time control place, where the Supreme Kai of Time is and stuff like that. Like, that's like the major hub of where the story mode kicks off and what you do from there. I would like to see you doing more things in the actual hub world, like maybe even getting in mini fights on the world. Like, I know maybe they'd have to only do that in single rooms because it would get kind of tedious. But you know how like your character runs around and you gotta like ask a certain person a question, like a non-playable character, an NPC a question to get their costume, and you have to answer it correctly, they'll give you like a costume or something like that. I really like the hub world in this game in Xenoverse 2, and I would like to see it expanded upon with being able to interact more within the world. Even in the new Battle Coliseum, when you go to the Battle Coliseum, you pretty much do the entire story from there, and there's very few times where you actually go outside, and it's usually just on the ground below the Battle Coliseum where you have to like talk to Bulma or Mr. Satan or something like that to initiate the next part of the story. I would just like to see more of your created character interacting within the environment. Maybe finding hidden items, or doing races, or talking to characters about like certain things, or fighting characters on the actual hub map. Kind of like how we see when like the raids come, like when Frieza comes, how everyone like goes together. Just more stuff like that. The next thing I would like to see is I want to see more super characters that we didn't get in Xenoverse 2. I mean, obviously that's going to be a must. I want to see, if we don't get them in another extra pack, I want to see Kale and Caulifla and Kefla. I don't give a crap about Ribrianne, so I don't want to see her, period. If you like Ribrianne, I'm sorry, I can't stand her. I'd like to see the dog trio, or possibly like just the one dog and then his brothers like using him with assist attacks or something like that. No, I think they'd be separate characters, because one could do a giant and stuff like that. So I don't know. But, you know, just a bunch of different characters like that. I'd like to see more incorporated moving characters, which I think they're setting us up for, because we have base Android 13, but there's no Super Android 13 in sight, so I think that's a possibility. We do have Cooler and Meta Cooler, but it would be, you know, nicer to see, like, Bojack's final form. I don't know, there's just, and for Christ's sake, can we, like, please be able to color, like, our created characters' costumes? Like, now we can even do it with, like, mentors and stuff, but we can't do it with our created character. Just let me color the costumes whatever the heck I want to color it. It literally makes me choose different outfits. Like, the first Xenoverse, we hated it because, like, we wore certain outfits because of the stats. Now they got rid of that because they invented the Cuckoo Bang. That's great. Now let us color it so we have it look the way we want. And that's another thing. I want more customization options for created character. Of course, with me, I always want created character stuff. But, yeah, I do, so, sorry. Like, Dragon Ball Online, which this game is loosely based upon, has a lot more character created options than Xenoverse actually has itself, and it actually even has more expansive of a race, which most of you know. It would be nice to have, like, a demon race that we can customize. It would also be nice to have, like, a specific android race, or possibly, even just like an alien race, so we can customize and mix and match with different kind of cool alien parts, and not be constricted by whether it's, you know, Frieza race or Majin race or Piccolo race, stuff like that. I would also like to see the netcode cleaned up so it's not as messed up with online matches. There's a lot of things that I want from that game, and I think they have the ability to make it better. I mean, Xenoverse 2 came out like, what, a year after Xenoverse 1, so with another 2 year working on it, I'm pretty sure they can tighten things up to a point that we can actually like it. But I don't want to waste any more of you guys' time today. Thanks for staying with me if you did so far. Drop a like, I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out Ragnarok Enterprises channel in the description box below.